What's up, everyone? Vu of Envu Films again, and I'm back with another idiotic video for you to watch. And today I want to talk to you about the Sony A7S III does not overheat commentary and the overheating commentary I've been seeing on YouTube, on Facebook groups, and all that other trash. Okay, so let's start off by saying that Sony has been somewhat advertising the Sony A7S III as being a camera that doesn't overheat. And about 80 YouTubers pretty much said that throughout their whole testing, real world use of the Sony A7S III, including Gerald Undone. And let me repeat, if Gerald Undone says that the Sony A7S III doesn't overheat, the Sony A7S III probably does not overheat. Okay, so there has been two YouTubers who have had some negative tests regarding the A7S III with overheating. That is one, Dan Watson, and the other one, a blind mice and elephant guy. You know, he talks very intelligently. He has like the gray goatee, cool looking dude. First of all, I watch both Dan Watson and the other guy on YouTube occasionally. So, and I have a lot of respect for their work. So before I get started, I just want to make that clear that there's no ill will from me towards them to begin with. My only problem is these are definitely pre-production models. So yes, Dan Watson did mention that his test, the A7S III overheated before like the Canon EOS R5 and the Florida Sun. Okay, so the A7S III roughly on standard mode was able to get like 23 minutes of 4K 60 continuous recording until it shut down, and then on another test he set it to a high overheating limits, and it lasted about 30 minutes 4K 60 continuous, and the Canon lasted, I don't know, 33 minutes or something like that. So everyone on Facebook who are massive Canon fanboys pretty much been sharing his one video about how it overheated, and the Canon did not. Well, the Canon did, but like 5 minutes later or something. Firstly, even if there was nothing wrong with Dan Watson's camera and that it is perfectly normal, right? And if that's how the Sony A7S III overheats, 4K 60, 95, 100 degree humid weather, and it overheats after 25 minutes of 4K 60 continuous, the camera's fine. You know why? Because no one shoots 4K 60 for 25 minutes continuously, nonstop like that. Most filmmakers, such as myself, for like 4K 60 use, probably just shoots like 5-10 seconds here, 5-10 seconds there, 5-10 seconds there with like breaks. When we do shoot longer duration, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, it's in 4K 24, which by all means probably will never overheat, ever. Secondly, my man Dan over here, again, Dan, respect for his work, respect for a YouTube channel. But come on, bro. Like, you pretty much are you're a videographer, professional videographer. You can't put these cameras on like a proper setup, like put them on a proper tripod. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because my man Dan here has a time to have like the most crispy Canon 8K Jerry curls I've ever seen in the middle of a pandemic, but he does not have time to put out proper tripods for a heating test. This man put it on like the mini tripods on top of like a plastic container cover and what looks to be like a black trampoline, which I'm sure if anyone has ever had a trampoline, heat is like literally absorbed and like comes right off of that trampoline. In reality, you probably have your camera on a big tripod on top of like grass or something else with not heat literally like coming off right underneath it. You know what I mean? Yeah, like do a better test than that. Even I'm surprised the second test he did like this pretty much the same thing except for lifted them. literally Sony users all this time, every freaking internet troll, Canon user, Panasonic user, whoever, oh, the Sony overheats. Even after like Sony's major overheating problems has been solved since the A7R III release, which was like 3 years ago. I've never had any of my Sony cameras actually overheat during a wedding. Even like other professional shoots, like interviews and stuff like that, where it's like longer duration, 30 minutes, whatever. I've never had them overheat. Matter of fact, I've never had like the sign, the like temperature sign even come up. Except for maybe one time, A7R III, like it was in direct heat, but it just never turned off. So, but either way, all this time we used literally that's all the Sony haters would just mention overheating when it hasn't really been a problem, and we for the most part just said, hey, it doesn't really overheat, and we just moved on with our lives. And then finally we have a camera that literally does, like, let's just be honest here, for $3,500, I don't think you could get like a better video centric handheld mirrorless camera, and it doesn't overheat. And by it doesn't overheat when you're using it normally, not doing like testing, right? So, and the Canon fanboys just really can't handle it right now. They can't handle that their camera that they bought for, I don't know, $2,500, and then you have that, which is R6, and then you have the $3,899 camera EOS R5. You spent all that money to shoot the higher end specs, right? 4K 60, 4K 120, 8K in whatever bit rate, and you can't even do it professionally on a consistent basis. You can't do like 5 minutes of here, 5 minutes of there. You can, matter of fact, you can't even hybrid shoot it, as Jared Undone also has tested, where you would take a photo, 30, 40 photos, and Chelsea at Northrop, take 30 to 40 photos, and then switch over to video mode and try to record video in, like, I don't know, 4K 120. And you can't, because the camera already has a heating problem. Whereas Sony, so all you Canon fanboys out there, I'm talking directly to you, okay? Don't sit there and act like the Sony A7S III's overheating problems are as bad as yours. Like, yours makes your cameras unusable professionally for video use. That is that. Stop making Dan Watson like the Canon Messiah, That is Peter McKinnon. Peter McKinnon is Canon's, Jesus, okay? You are trying to make Dan Watson Canon Jesus right now. He is not, okay? Matter of fact, he even said in his real-world professional use that the Sony A7S III didn't have any problems. And I'm going to be honest, I'm thinking if I were to just take a wild guess, his Sony A7S III is probably a lemon, These are pre-production models. I don't know how many they sent out. Let's say they sent out 50. I'm not surprised if 2 were, maybe even 3 or 4 were probably just jacked up, like something happened, who knows, right? They were pre-production. By all means, we could all say that Florida is like, as hot as an EOS R5 after 5 minutes of 8K shooting. Okay, fine. But honestly, during the summer, especially this summer when like all these Sony A7S III tests were going on, pretty much the United States, especially over here in the East Coast, up and down has been over 90 degrees. So I was just taking a gander at the temperatures today. I live in Maryland, which is like way north of Florida. We're actually hotter than Florida today. So and we're humid over here. So I don't think 1 or 2 degrees of a temperature difference is that big of a deal. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I could be completely wrong on this. Maybe I'm being a Sony fanboy and just trying to find excuses. Who cares? Okay. Bottom line is, pre-production, from the 99% of other reviewers and testers who has extensively used it, Philip Bloom, all of these guys, Sony A7S III doesn't have an overheating problem. Consistently does not have an overheating problem. Dan Watson's Sony A7S III, specifically in his climate, has a problem. It even had some other issue where it like completely crapped out on him. So I would not be surprised if his camera is just something's going on with it. But, and even so, like I said earlier, doesn't matter. Camera is still recording 4K 60 for half an hour before it overheats in like blazing hot, humid weather. That is more than enough to be able to do whatever you feel like. So, gosh. Anyways, that is it for today. Just wanted to voice my opinion on the matter. And anyways, just wanted to voice my opinion on the matter. And until next time, guys, especially Canon users, lighten up. You know, you need it. Seriously. With your crappy ISO performance, pretty average dynamic range for this high-end video spec camera, you better lighten up for real. Like, you cannot mess around with just no light, or you better get that shot correct. You know, in your running gun situation, you better. Okay, that's enough. Peace out.